We've done it. We have arrived now at video number 4 of this rant. If you haven't, you should probably watch the previous 3 ones that I did. I talked about gatekeeping, woke scolding / purity testing, and cancel culture. And those were the first 3. And now the 4th one I want to talk about is... well, it's kind of a mix of the 3. I mean, they're all interrelated. All of these concepts are pretty put together. But before I go in on it, this one's going to be a little bit more sensitive because the 4th point is it's hypersensitivity. I think the left is hypersensitive in a bad way. I think it's a real problem. So before we get into this, I'm gonna make some disclosures. So I am not generally a particularly sensitive person. Now, does that mean I never get offended? No, of course not. Yeah, we all have our moments. But for the most part, I'm cool with being abrasive. I'm cool with other people being abrasive. I like that culture, that environment. I grew up on Twitch culture for the most part, and before that, even earlier, like IRC culture was pretty edgy there. Even when it wasn't reactionary, it was still pretty irreverent. That edgy irony that allows you to, it's getting picked up on a lot of spaces today, For a while, I remember the only people who I would hear say fag would be like white cisgender gay men who would all like pal buddy with one another, like, oh yeah, we're just a bunch of fags. And now trans people are doing it too, and I think that's nice. I think that's nice because it's kind of liberating to feel like you're deconstructing and sort of breaking a word that's typically used to marginalize you. I'm going to talk about this. I want to make it known 2 things, though, okay? I'll be talking about mental illness, which I think is present in some portions of the online English-speaking left. It's present everywhere, but I think here maybe more so than elsewhere. I am mentally ill, to a decent extent. See? Right up here. Look at that. Lithium. For mood stabilizers. And I took antidepressants for a while. Now this isn't a competition. It's not a goal like, oh, who's mentally ill, who's the most mentally ill, this person gets to say the most. I'm only saying that I have had my own struggles with mental illness. I have been suicidal. I have wanted to kill myself. Really sucked, was suboptimal, and for that reason I have a lot of sympathy for other people who are going through that. I learned that sympathy very painfully myself, and in a way I'm thankful for it, because prior to my experiences with mental illness, I couldn't fathom what could make another person lose their interest in living. Just didn't make sense to me, Oh, life's bad? Well, why don't you just go on a trip, bro? You want to kill yourself? Why not just go backpacking across Europe? If you're gonna die anyway, what difference does it make? Okay. Gotten past that. Have a little bit more sympathy now. Just be happy, bro. But in spite of that, I'm doing better now. And for a while I was more sensitive than I am now. For a while I didn't like hearing anyone talk about suicide because it made me suicidal. I didn't like hearing anyone talk about them being sad because it made me think that there was no hope. Everyone was sad. Everyone's just faking it. The way I felt, my depressive feelings were actually shared by everyone. I was just the only one who was getting hit like hard enough by it for like it to really affect my life. Sadness is forever and everywhere, and everyone is afflicted by it at all times, and there's really no point in pressing forward or trying to improve anything because there was no improvement. That's just life. I'm just aware of it now. And I was wrong on every single point. That's what it does. Depression, it lies to you. What are you going to do? It was dumb and gay. Or dumb and fag, as the trans kids would say nowadays. Why am I talking about all this? Well, in part, it's as a disclaimer because I want to indicate that I'm really not trying to bowl over the interests here of people who I consider overly sensitive. But it's also to indicate that this is kind of the angle from which I will be approaching it. Sensitivity can mean a lot of things in the English language. you can be sensitive in the sense that you can be sensitive to others' feelings. Like you can be very receptive or big, big heart ear, you can be sensitive physically in the sense that you touch shit and so like, you can be sensitive in the sense that you're very in tune with your own emotions. You're very emotionally intelligent. You're very capable of sort of figuring out what's going on in your head at any point. But the kind of sensitivity that I am talking about, and I think we all know what kind of sensitivity I'm referring to here, but let's elucidate it for any of those who are confused, is fragility. The ease with which one can be offended, the ease with which one collapses, the ease with which one is brought down by words mostly. It's fragility or weakness. I think a lot of people on the left are very weak. Now I hear the hemming and hawing and the what have you. Oh, Vosh, didn't you lose your shit on stream and such and such? Well, yes, I get angry. I do. But in terms of weakness, in terms of the ease with which my perception, self-perception, the ease with which my ability to engage with others, I'm actually pretty hardy. You can go look at my conversations with Nazis. I went on the kill stream, and chat, you guys saw the fucking kill stream, right? Or at least the video of it, right? You saw me. I think I handled myself. I think that was pretty okay. I can deal with that pretty well from opposition. I tend to get upset when I'm getting criticism from people who I consider to share, I think I share political interests with. But for the most part, I think I'm okay. But the fact that I'm even having to talk about this right now is only an indication that whenever I bring this problem up, people in a very bad faith manner try to ignore or invalidate what I'm saying by saying that I'm a part of it too. So, you know what? Fuck that. Let's stop defending myself. Maybe I am as sensitive as you. Okay, sure, whatever. I don't need to come from a position of strength, only from a position of knowledge. And I think that's okay. That to talk about that sort of in this way. There are consequences to weakness in this respect. I talked earlier about stuff like woke scolding and purity testing and gatekeeping and cancel culture, and I'm talking about those things, I think, because there's something the left likes to do. This is from the last drawing. There's something the left likes to do. Everyone likes to do it. And it's to build social spaces. A social space is just a place you can go to and just social space. I'm not going to fucking define it for you. Put in some fucking effort. Social space. Everyone likes social spaces. I'm going to draw a happy face here. I'm going to draw one more. Social space. See? And the left loves these. Everyone loves these, The left does it better than anyone else. Right-leaning social spaces are pretty fucking bad. I've been on plenty of reactionary and even Nazi discords. These people are not happy, not supportive of one another, generally miserable people. We should not seek to emulate that. However, there is another type of space that is associated with political sort of advocacy, and that is an advocacy space. Not a social space. We can draw that right here. An advocacy space doesn't exist to provide comfort for the people within it. That's what a social space is. Comfort, support, happiness, friendship. It's important to stay happy. That's good. But an advocacy space isn't about those things. It's not about the needs of the individual. An advocacy space is oriented, basically, to advocate for your ideology as effectively as possible. These are places that exist to radicalize, to plan, to coordinate. And these two spaces have different needs. See, the left one, the social space, can be kind. It can be warm and accepting. And it's often good for marginalized people. If you're mentally ill, it's probably good to be in spaces like this. Generally speaking, having a strong, healthy social life helps with mental illness. It just makes you feel more involved, part of a community. Advocacy spaces can't really do that because things like comfort or mutual respect are sometimes less important than ruthless argumentation and raw practicality. The right is much better at this. Is everyone aware of the place called Stormfront? It's a website. It's a Nazi website. Stormfront something. I don't know if it's com or net org or what have you. Stormfront was and still is a haven for Nazis, and those Nazis will brigade other websites using templates that are provided on Stormfront. They're given these documents, you see, and it will give you talking points for Nazis, FBI crime statistics, black crime, demographics, this and this and that. It'll give you pointers on how to argue in bad faith. Always run by these points as quickly as you can. Skip by, skip. Always talk about white race, capitalize W in white, never capitalize the other races. There was a full, I wish I had it in front of me. It exists. You can Google it, probably find it pretty easily. It was a full, essentially a reading guide on how to engage in Nazi propaganda. And the reason why something like that was able to come out of Stormfront was because even though Stormfront was a Nazi website for Nazis, Stormfront wasn't this. Stormfront didn't really exist to provide comfort or care, support, or socialization to the people who used it. This was Stormfront. Stormfront was, from day one, and continues to be, a space for radicalization. A space to, as efficiently, as brutally, as severely as possible, disseminate your ideology. Yeah, that's what Friend World was for, too. And that's also what Poll is for. And that's also what all of 8chan is for. The left mixes these two spaces like a motherfucker. The left cannot differentiate between the two. Many people on the left are very bad at differentiating between the two. So for people who want social spaces, they're going to be treated to the same purity testing and ideological gatekeeping that you would expect from an advocacy space. And for people who want to engage in advocacy, they're going to be fucking woke scolded by people who are interested in cultivating a safe little fucking social space rather than building actual advocacy. This happens all the time. There are so many people who treat the left like a social space. And it's really wild when you think about it. The left isn't a social space. The left is a political vehicle that's supposed to be an alternative to capitalism and fascism. It's supposed to encompass the interests of every single human being on Earth. It's supposed to reach out to people. It's supposed to confront hard truths. It's supposed to save the world. Pardon me for being, grandiose. And that's the goal, though, right? It's supposed to reach people. It needs to do what needs to be done. There's no room for mollycoddling when it comes to political advocacy. You need to be able to drop people at the flick of a card when it's necessary to do so. You need to be able to clash with other ideas within that space to find better ones. You need to be able to test ideas. You need to be able to decide, hey, we need to go radicalize people there. We need to bring these people in. You need to be able to bring people in, to include them, and then to pull them towards your center, towards your ideological, core. So a rhetorical space, a space that is oriented around advocacy, could be like, imagine 5chan. 5chan, It's like 4chan. One more. It's 5chan. Maybe there already is a 5chan. I don't know. 5chan, okay? And instead of having a pull thread, politically incorrect, full of Nazis and what have you, instead of all that shit, 5chan is a web board that has roots in leftist advocacy, much in the same way that 4chan, shortly after its conceptualization, fell to the interests of reactionaries. 5chan keeps in line with ours. The web host, a lefty, maybe a crypto lefty, so people don't get too agitated about it, you know? And these boards, their pull, their A, their V, these are fierce fucking battlefields for political advocacy. But because the moderators are on our side, because the admin is on our side, we are capable of doing to that space what the reactionaries did to theirs. We turn this into an edgy breeding ground that serves as a fermentation for political radicalization, for people coming over to our side. And you'd want to do it properly. You don't want people who are just like Nazbols or class reductionists or whatever. You'd want to do a good job with it. But it worked for the righties. It can work for us too. The problem is, this isn't going to be a good social space. This is not going to be a good place to go and form a social bond or a friendscape. This is horrible for that. Worthless for doing that. What it would be, however, is politically effective. And that's the distinction that I want to draw here. Too many people on the left are more interested in building a social space than they are in building political advocacy. So these people will go on Twitter and they'll treat the left like it's their own personal Discord group. They'll be like, oh, you like to call people dumb and you occasionally use the term like woke-tard? You're not a part of the left. The fuck are you talking about? You're not the fucking the fucking litmus test. Dip your fucking wax paper into my hole and see what color I come out, huh? You're not the fucking litmus test for who is and is not on the left. Fuck you. You're trying to build friends is what you're trying to do. That's what these people do. A lot of them do this shit on Twitter. You know you've seen it. Check it out. Hyper as if you've seen it. People treating leftist advocacy like you're trying to find who is and is not going to be a good friend for you. Enforcing the kinds of insanely partisan purity testing that would only function within incredibly small friend groups, but then extrapolating them out to the entirety of your political space. I would never do that. When I'm thinking like, oh, political advocacy and like who should be in the left, when I think who shouldn't be in the left, like, for one, there's no such thing as being in or out of the left, because that's kind of reductive, you know? In reality, the left is sort of like a broad set of points that you may correlate to more or less than the other, you know? The left, like in a classical sense, means anti-capitalist progressive, but there are people who are less progressive who are still on the left, and there are people who are extremely progressive who are considered on the left, even if they're more reformy, suck-demi than they are proper socialists. So this whole who is and isn't the left is like really dumb, and anyone who says you're in the left or you're not in the left, this is, again, it's very reductive. But this is a thing. This is just a thing that happens. The reduction of political spaces to social spaces and enforcing all of the same prejudices, all of the same biases and expectations and unreasonable metrics that you would enforce on a social space, except instead to the broader political space. Horribly ineffective, mind you. Righties don't do this, and that's why there are so many more of them than there are of us. You know, it's not a coincidence that all those horrible Ben Shapiro, like Rex SJW libtard cuck owned videos on YouTube have like millions and millions of views, and why Steven Crowder has like 4 million subscribers. There's a reason why these things are the case, but our biggest breadtuber has like 700,000 subs, ContraPoints, and just her, that. There's also TYT, but TYT is hardly leftist these days. There's a reason for that. And it's not just corporate backing. It would be very convenient for us if we could just blame everything on the fact that they better collaborate with business interests. A lot of it is just because we don't do a very good job of including people into the left. So they don't move left. They move right. They are never made a part of our spaces, so they never feel the need to demonstrate a willingness to participate with them, to better themselves, to move further into them. Because that's how radicalization works. And there's a reason why people do this, and I'm going to share with you after I blow my nose, because that's what I want to do. So that means the left creates Nazis. Every single time there is a broad group of people who could be made leftist but are ignored because it's not deemed worth our time, we are indirectly contributing to whatever right-leaning radicalization they will later experience. Unquestionably. There's a reason why this happens, and it's half the left's fault and half just an inevitable product of how the left is designed, really. And it's because lefties are fragile. Go to any leftist Discord. There will be people in there constantly talking about their suicidal ideation, talking about how they just can't with their life, their job, their family members, their friends, victims of abuse from partners. I'm not saying that those make them bad people. It doesn't, not by any means. And I'm not saying those things don't happen to right-leaning people either, because they do. But the social spaces that the left cultivates are much more based around shared weakness than they are around shared strength. I mean, I have a Discord, like, I know. There are thousands of people in my Discord. I've been to other lefty Discords. I promise you. I promise you I'm speaking from a position of understanding here. Communities of shared weakness are really, really bad at political advocacy because political advocates need to operate in different environments than which a more sensitive sort of social crowd would want to cultivate within their own community, within their Twitter group, within their Discord. And it all comes back fundamentally to sensitivity. What I want to see, because I don't want to see sensitive people kicked out of the left, I want to see a better distinction made between the needs to form a social space and the need to form political advocacy. I talked about this in the first video I did in this incredible 4-part series, where I talked about gatekeeping and how it's important that, hey, if you want to have your own little space up here that's very like pure and very calm and cool and clean, that's okay, and you're free to do that. However, the left is bigger than you. And we can pull on an even larger group of people if we want to move them over to the left too. Further and further and further. And some of these people in, say, this section might be a little bit more rough around the edge than the baby section over here. I'm going to do that pink. Might be a little bit rougher. You know? Do you see? Maybe a little bit more slurs. Maybe a little bit more irreverent performative cruelty. And performative cruelty can be very helpful for radicalizing others sometimes. Very radicalizing. I'm just saying, it's an effective tool. Don't leave tools on the ground, folks. They can be helpful. They can be important. You have to keep your space here, but you have to recognize the existence of other spaces outside of it. And that's very, 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 very important. Because every single space that you leave white, every space that you make no effort to build political, like a political base from, you are leaving essentially to Nazis. You leave it to them. And Nazis are willing to go harder, to go stronger, to work harder and work longer than you ever will be able to radicalize. Because Nazis are part of a death cult. Nazis are part of a death cult. They do not care whether or not their friends or comrades or whatever die. They cross their fingers and they gloat when the shootings happen. When they hear one of their fucking comrades get shot after killing 18 people in a synagogue, they meme to the fucking sun with it. There's no funeral for this person. It's glorious celebration. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. They died for their race. They're always going to be able to go harder than you will. So you need to do the fucking best you can, or you're leaving it to them. All of this space that you leave open belongs to them. You know, what's the phrase? Today the country, tomorrow the world belongs to me tomorrow. All of this is theirs if you do nothing with it. And not all of the space that you extend your will to can be this space. It can't all be like this. It can't all be like this little throbbing pink-red heart. that you live, that is very sensitive and very much in line with your needs. It can't do that for you. It can't be that for you. But these people, if you really want to look at it from a perspective of self-interest, these people are your shields. You, and I'm sorry, speaking from experience here, typically mentally ill, suicidal ideation, trans people who are living very difficult lives and have very sensitive friends because you have very specific needs for your social spaces, Godspeed. I want you to live long and prosperous lives, but you're not going to be able to do it on your own. You need people around you. You need fucking edgy white dudes who say the fucking retarded sometimes, okay? You need, I'm sorry, if they're willing to, if they're not transphobic, if they're out here on the left, if they're going to out here fucking radicalize others, defend people, argue fucking pro Bernie Sanders, fucking pro Medicare for all, if they're going to go out there and argue against, like, for the necessity of reparations, if they're going to go out there and argue against fucking the great replacement Nazi theories or whatever fucking dumb shit they're throwing out there, you need them. If they're edgy and they say slurs sometimes, I'm sorry, cool, don't let them into your own private fucking Discord. But they're part of the left, and they're the wall that will keep you safe. These people, even if they're further out there, even if they're fucking libs, dude. What if these people are just like, oh, well, I don't know about a $15 per hour minimum wage or nothing like that, but I don't really know if I feel comfortable with the extent to which the Trump administration is collaborating with neo-Nazis. I don't care. Work with them. If you don't, if you leave them out, that's just more space for the Nazis to take. Every single time you keep a group of people, you woke scold, you purity test a group of people out of the left, every single time you do this, you capitulate more ground, and you will be the only ones left. Don't get me wrong, you're not like single-handedly capable of canceling the left or whatever. They'll still be around you, even if you don't like them. What if I'm right here? I do my work all the time for trans shit, fucking anti-Nazi shit. Do you really want me gone? I see this all the time from communities like this. Do we really want someone like Vosh defending us? Bitch, I'm sorry. If I occasionally am edgy, you can't afford to be picky right now. You literally can't afford it. Now, if you want to draw lines on who we consider with the left and who we consider not the left and what have you, at least let them be reasonable ones, okay? Like, for instance, probably not going to bring any race realists in just because they believe in a socialist revolution. I'm not a fucking Nazbol. No, thank you. I personally don't like tankies because I feel like tankies are generally dishonest actors who are more interested in like in like capitulating to like a form of authoritarianism they like that will invariably lead to the suppression of marginalized groups. I consider them to have different class interests than me, in my personal opinion. But a lot of tankies are also just confused and very stupid in my experience. So I don't know. Rad libs? I'll take rad libs. I don't fucking care if you're a lib but you're like pro-trans or whatever. We need you. We need you. And you need us. We all need each other. We all need each other. Allow your sensitivity to guide you in your day-to-day lives, to help you determine who you want to be friends with or who you want to build a social space with. But the moment you let your sensitivity towards this or towards that affect the extent to which you're willing to coalition build, you're not just hurting us. You're barely hurting us. The left continues with or without you. You're hurting yourself. And the more territory we gain, the further we are able to push, the more we move the Overton window forward, the more we put the Nazis on the back foot. I want to envision a world where people, edgy white boys, go on 4chan and argue fucking pro Bernie Sanders talking points. I want to live in a world where Nazi websites are considered like wildly fucking off the beaten track again, like they were 10, 12 years ago. I want to live in a world where the average edgy fucking libertarian white boy in high school is like, Yeah, like, oh yeah, like you're libertarian, because, the more the government does, the more they'll fuck it up. Haha. Like how much the government fucked up trans issues. I bet that private corporations, would have done a much better job of protecting trans rights, doody-doody-doo, because I would rather have that than them going, I would rather have fucking private based corporations able to kick people out, like using the wrong fucking bathrooms, because that's where we're at right now. We've set the scales too far to the right. We've capitulated too much ground. We throw our hands up in the air. We said the left is pure, the left is good. We are not going to sully the left with the company of those who don't share our values. But then we isolated ourselves because we assumed that the only ones who shared our values were people who looked and acted exactly like us, who use our terminology, who are familiar with all of our fucking sophomore year sociology class, gender and like social theories, who are familiar with the constantly changing terminology that we use to describe marginalized communities. I'm reminded by the trans asterisk, trans no space woman, trans yes space woman, LGBTQA, LGBTQIA, all of that shit. I'm reminded of all the ways, all the little ways in which we slowly made the left a very, very comfy place for people who are already left-leaning, and a very inhospitable place to everyone else, ensuring, if nothing else, that our numbers would, at least proportionally, shrink every single year. Meanwhile, every single fucking community the right touches becomes the right's. Do you notice what happened to gaming? Like gaming, like gamer culture. Before 2014, gamer culture was just like dude bros, and like women would get made fun of on Xbox Live. It was bad, don't get me wrong, but Gamergate was a process by which right-leaning people successfully infiltrated, exploited, and took control of the culture of the largest medium that currently exists on Earth. And now, gaming and gamers is in a large way reactionary. And we gave that to them. And I remember the conversations back then, back in 2014. Do you have any idea how many people I saw throw their hands up and go, whatever, it's fucking gaming. Who cares? Those shitty dudes want to just fucking be with their Gamergate shit. Whatever. They don't deserve us. And then we walked away. We gave YouTube to them. We gave the entire fucking gaming culture sphere to them. We're barely taking back indie gaming now. And we did all of it. We did all of it because we were more interested in keeping the left pure than we were in making the left strong. And that's the problem with purity. And you can ask a Nazi, because they're big on this in the racial sense, but that's the problem with purity. It only exists insofar as you're capable of defending it. And we're not. Not like this. It's a difficult process. Anyway, that's the end of my rant. We can build a better left. We're already making good strides in this direction. Several years ago, someone like me would not have been accepted in basically any leftist circles. Several years ago, we had capitulated all of YouTube to the reactionaries. We're making good progress, but that progress comes at costs, and sometimes that cost is with our comfort. Sometimes we have to recognize when our desire for a socially pure, comfy space is getting in the way of our need to build a strong left, because we need a strong left or we're all going to die. I would rate that, I assume, higher than your comfort, personally. Please, just do your best to interact with the left in ways which you believe will maximize the potential of long-term strength. Radicalize people. Include people who weren't included before. You want to know, and I'm going to leave this one last point, I guess. One last thing. I debated Hunter Avallone a little while back. He's a Republican YouTuber. And a little while afterwards, I think it was actually the same day, some people from chat popped up. His chat, his fan base jumped in to debate me. And I talked with them. A lot of them were young. Hunter's young. I'm young. A lot of them were young. There were kids there. One of them, I think, was in middle school. No shit. I don't think I'm above talking to younger people. I think it's lovely. There are middle school Nazis. Fuck yeah, we're gonna have some middle school anarchists, huh? And I talked to some people after that, quite a few, to quite a large audience. And afterwards, the emails I got from kids, mostly kids, saying, "Hey Vosh, that was really funny or really cool. Thank you for talking to me. Thank you for talking to him or her, or them or they. Thank you, that was cool. I never really thought leftists could be like you. And, well, whatever. See you later." And then the next week, I'll see him in chat. And the next month, I'll see him in chat every day. And the month after that, I get a donation from them. "Hey Vosh, I didn't really know that leftists could be like that. I didn't know they could be like you. Thank you. I guess I am one now? I don't really know. I'm still figuring it out, but..." Most rewarding feeling in the world. Really, really is. Better than any donation. That could be our everyday if we're more willing to reach out to people who we don't already believe agree with us. If we're willing to extend our reach. Some of those kids were right edgy cunts, by the way. Talking to them the first time, some of them were real pricks. But hey. Anyway, that's it. That's it. That's the four parts. And though I imagine many of the people who have watched or listened to this already agreed with my broader prescriptions about the left, I would like it, I guess, if people framed leftist rhetoric and leftist discourse in this way a little bit more often. You don't have to attach my name to it or anything. Just go out there, There was something somebody said on the BreadTube thread recently when a clip from my stream was posted, and they said, it was a clip of me, and they said, "Don't like that this point had to be made with so many slurs." However, Vosh is right. We can't really build a strong left if our heads are too far up our own asses woke scolding ourselves. If nothing else, just follow through on that principle, okay? Even if you disagree with me or dislike me, just recognize that different groups have different needs, and sometimes those needs may conflict with one another. But the greatest need we all share is a shared need for a strong left, because it's the only thing that's going to keep us alive.